matira matibay. So, ang pinaka may malalaking pag-asa na ma-PR in the future are those who will have enough time to wait this out. Diba? This is a storm na currently brewing. It's not gonna last forever. And the only way to survive is to wait it out.
Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Ito na nga ang sinasabi namin, no? Nitong aking kausap in this episode. In our last conversation, we talked about how hindi na tayo magugulat kung magsunod-sunod na yung mga probinsya dito sa Canada ng pag-a-announce ng kani-kanilang adjustments sa priorities na mga tatanggapin nila sa kanilang provincial nomination programs dahil sa pagbabawas ng allocations nila for PR. Okay, yung binibigyang allocations ng federal government sa bawat probinsya na pwede lang po nilang tanggapin ng mga permanent residents. At ngayon, ang bago, no? Una nating napag-usapan, I think about 2 weeks ago, changes sa Saskatchewan and Yukon, meron din, ano? Ngayon, naku po, British Columbia naman. Marami tayong kababayan dyan sa British Columbia. Kaya sige, puntahan na natin kung ano ba itong mga big changes na ito ang nagbabalik. Si Dayanara in Puerto Bantigue. Her contact information, andyan lang po sa baba sa description box. Okay?
Hello po!
Ayan. O, ito na nga, Dayanara, no? Busy naman ngayon. And I think it's big news, ha?
It is.
Marami yatang tatamaan dito. Sige, puntahan natin yung announcement or parang press release sa kanilang website mismo.
Apa.
Ayan, sa official website to, Welcome BC. Babasahin ko na lang yung title.
Apa.
It was just posted yesterday, April 14. BC PNP to focus on healthcare, entrepreneurs, and high economic impact candidates in 2025. So, ang mangyayari, no? O sige, Dayanara, ikaw na nga lang mag-explain, please.
Opo.
I think malaki ang binawas, no? Kasi sa allocations ng BNP.
Correct.
Yeah. How many again were they asking for? Tapos ilan na lang ang binigay?
Before, it was nasa mga 8,000, 8 to 10,000 nomination allocations for British Columbia, which is parang doble nun sa Ontario naman. Ontario is like 15 to 20. Kasi understandable, like the bulk of the population of Canada, probably half to almost half to half is in Ontario. So it makes sense for them to be given a lot of allocations. It's just fair. But BC, I think, has the second most number of allocations after Ontario, and whatever was given to them before, it was halved. So kalahati na lang. Now they have 4,000 nominations allocated by the federal government. Nagsimula yung taon, 2025 entered with, they already have 5,200 applications, meaning yung pool nila ay may 5,200 applications na, kasalukuyan. But they're only given 4,000. So, they will not be able to survive.
At the start of the year pa lang.
At the start of the year pa lang. So, syempre po, every day, may gumagawa ng profile, may gumagraduate. For example, may nakaka 1 year or 2 years sa trabaho nila, may nagre-relocate, nagsisimula sa ibang lugar. So, syempre, dumadagdag yung pool. Actually, I don't know if you're familiar with, I'm just gonna make Alberta the example. I think Alberta has 50,000 in their pool, and let's assume na ang ibibigay lang sa kanila is less than 4,000 kasi mas malaki yung BC compared to Alberta, o let's say pareho. So, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Diba? It's really very difficult.
Yeah, ito pala yung summary kung saan nila gagamitin yung sinasabi ni Dayanara na 4,000 na allocation, okay?
So, 1,100 ay sa health po, health authority. So, ito yung mga employed po sa mga public health authorities all over. Alberta Island Health, Northern Health, ganyan po. And then yung remaining, health authority employees, entrepreneurs, and skilled workers, creating high economic impact in the province. So, ito yung nandun po sa kanilang listahan na mga priority nila, and that includes childcare, construction, technology and veterinary care.
Ayun.
Yan po yung mga, kumbaga, talagang nagda-drive ng economy nila. So, yun yung
Mhm.
priority nila. They will allot 1,100 for those. And then the remaining 2,900 spaces will be used to nominate some of the applications already received. So,
Naku po.
yung 5,200 na na-receive na nila, ang pwede lang nilang bigyan doon is 2,900, 2,900, and then yung 1,100 ay para doon sa mga bagong aplikante na kailangan nila. So, syempre, yun yung mga nasa priority fields po.
Oo, no? Tapos, merong mga streams or programs na isususpend muna o hindi muna tatanggap ng mga
Yes.
bagong applications.
Yes.
Sa totoo lang I need help, Dayanara, explaining. Halimbawa, ito, yung international postgraduate applications.
Opo.
Yung mga natanggap na lang, yung mga natanggap from September 1, 2024 to January 7, naka-waitlist na.
Correct.
Waitlist na lang.
Opo.
And then all other applications received sa
In
IPG,
2024,
yun lang nung received in 2024 and early 2025 will be processed in 2025. So in short, wala na muna ngang tatanggapin dito.
yes, it will be temporarily closed. Their goal is to relaunch those streams kapag bumalik na sa dati yung allocation po ng British Columbia. Opo.
Pero nakita ko yung 3 streams na meron silang ilo-launch, so for now, it's really paused yung
Yes.
plan nila until nga siguro maayos at maka-receive sila ng mas maraming applications.
Yes po. Yes,
my
which is
God.
really sad. A
Yeah.
lot of people got their PRs through that. I believe Miss Rhea Santos got her PR through that, like an international graduate stream.
Sino ba
Ng
usually dito sa IPG? Sino ang napupunta sa program
Apo.
nito? Nag-a-apply dyan?
Doon sa IPG, international postgraduate, so those are predominantly masters and the PhD doctorate programs. Postgraduate kasi yun. So those are above bachelor's degree. Meron silang international graduate stream na isa pa. Dati yun, kasama yung mga certificate and diploma programs. Pero I think they changed it a few months ago or a year ago to only include bachelor's degree level education. Kasi nga, napansin nila, ang daming kumukuha ng diploma and certificate programs. So, naging mas mas discriminatory sila. Pagdating doon sa kinuha nilang, sa bibigyan nila ng nominations through that pathway. Parang, they would prefer those who are already under work permits, those with support na talaga nung kanilang employers po. If I'm not mistaken, yung international graduate stream kasi, if it's similar to Ontario, hindi mo kailangan ng work experience. Parang you can apply directly after graduation as long as meron ka ng job offer. But unfortunately now, they would prefer those na may work experience. Kasi in a way, subok na yun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ay, nako. O, sige. So, yun IPG, wala munang bagong tatanggapin na applications.
Yes po.
Ito, ang magtutuloy naman ng invitation, mag-i-issue pa rin ng invitations to apply will continue for the Entrepreneur Immigration Register.
Yes, chinek ko yan. There are 3 streams to it. There's the base stream, the regional stream, and the strategic projects. I mean, it makes sense for them to continue this kasi this is very hard to achieve. Honestly, yung base stream pa lang means ang minimum net worth nung tao na pwedeng mag-apply is 600,000 Canadian dollars.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
O, sige. O, ituloy na nila yan. Okay.
Base stream yan. Tapos yung sa isa, yung regional stream, syempre ito yung sa mga smaller communities, ang requirement nila is $300,000 of personal net worth. And then kapag yung mga special projects, ganyan, I believe you need to make a minimum equity investment of $500,000.
I see. O sige, bago natin puntahan kung ano na lang yung mga health-related occupations na kanilang tatanggapin ito pa basahin lang muna natin to.
Apa.
That the BCPNP does not expect to resume general or priority occupation targeted invitations to apply in 2025 dahil nga po magfo-focus na lang sila more on the health-related occupations.
Yes, health or the other fields po.
Oo. Oh my. O sige, ito yun o sabi.
Parang ang ginawa nila, miss, parang the bulk of the slots that they will give are for those that they already invited.
Mhm.
Yung napadala na nila ng invitation, naghihintay na lang ng nomination.
Okay. May isa pa pala. O sige, bago natin puntahan yung mga health occupations na priority.
Apo.
Ito pala, okay. Based on consultations with the Ministry of Education and Childcare, future targeted applications to apply, hindi na daw kasama for 2025 ang Early Childhood Educator Assistants.
Yes, ECEAs.
Okay,
Opo.
will no longer be part of the targeted draws. It will
Yes.
now only be focused on, ito po, talagang yung ECE position.
Actual ECEs na po. So, dati po kasi yung ECEAs ay kasama sa NOC 42202. Kasi early childhood educators and assistants yun yung 42202. So, technically, kung assistant ka, pasok ka pa rin sa 42202. Pwede ka pa din sana pumasok dun sa childcare draws. And I have clients who were able to do this successfully. Hindi sila nag-aral ng ECE, pero naging ECA sila, tapos naka-apply sila. So, posible noon. But now, because, siguro dumami yung nakaalam nung strategy na yon, ang ginawa nung BC Ministry of Education, in-advise nila na what we need are actual educators, not assistants. So, we should prioritize those.
Yeah, wala. Ang hirap naman talaga. They really need to prioritize. Talagang kailangan nilang mamili. No?
True.
Sure
At ang nakakain mo sa nakakainis, pero nakakaiba. Ang kakaiba sa BC kasi is hindi ganun kadami yung kanilang ECE programs.
Mhm.
Hindi sila katulad ng Ontario na bawat isang college, almost all colleges
ECEs.
may ECE. Bawat isa fansho, halos lahat meron. Parang it's very common. Pero pagdating sa BC, it's very few. Very few schools offer early childhood education in BC. Not as many as, let's say, sa Ontario or sa Alberta even. Sa Alberta, parang bawat isang school din halos meron. So, parang pwede to if, let's say, you have an early childhood bachelor's degree in the Philippines, or let's say an elementary education degree, and you wish to have yourself assessed, so that to see kung magkakaroon po kayo ng license. This is something you can do para ma-check nyo po kung eligible kayo dun sa BC parang 1-year certificate or 5-year certificate. Meron po silang mga ganun.
Yun. You can look into that. Sige. Puntahan na natin. Ito na lang, okay? So, may 4,000 na. Balikan natin yung napag-usapan natin sa start ng episode. May 4,000 nominations. 2,900 doon, ino-nominate nila from those that they have already received.
Yes.
Okay. So, may natitira na lang 1,100 applications na
for new applications.
Sige. So, ano to? Can you give us a summary? Ang sabi nga, eligible health authority employees, entrepreneurs, yung kanina nabanggit natin na stream, and then skilled workers creating high economic impact in the province.
Yes. Yeah. So, to summarize, this will be a game of matira matibay. Matira matibay. So, ang pinaka may malalaking pag-asa na ma-PR in the future are those who will have enough time to wait this out.
Okay.
This is like a storm. Diba? This is a storm na currently brewing. It's not gonna last forever, but this is what's happening right now, and the only way to survive is to wait it out. Kasi if you have the ability to wait it out, then let's say na you have the ability to extend your stays through applying for an LMIA or a work permit. LMIA work permit, or let's say you have the ability to study. For example, you have a spouse, siya naman yung mag-aaral, let's say a master's level. This is, for me, sa ngayon, which is what I'm doing with some of my clients, na yung ibang mga naka-work permit, they're looking at going back to school, going into healthcare, going into construction. Yung mga naka-work permit na medyo matagal pa yung validity, they can study without the need for a study permit through the temporary policy na nilaunch po noong nakaraan for construction workers. this is, for now, ang talaga pong may pag-asa na makasurvive dito sa matinding bagyo na dinadanas
Mm-mm.
natin sa immigration ay yung makakatagal, yung merong kakayahan na mai-extend yung stay nila legally, medyo
Yeah,
pumiyok ako doon,
oo.
legally. Pero hindi naman po pwede yung magse-stay tayo ng illegal na parang, sabi ni
Oo.
Stay natin,
Mamaya.
matira matibay daw, magse-stay ako kahit illegal ako. Hindi naman po. Kasi
Oo.
kailangan pa rin po natin ng legal status in Canada po.
Yeah. Later on, maybe Dayanara, we will ask Dayanara for advice sa mga mukhang mahihirapan mag-extend ng stay, okay? Kung anong pwede nilang gawin. But for now, no, itong 1,100, I think ang focus talaga more on the mismong doctors, nurses, and what else? O ano yung hindi na included na health-related o baka working in the hospital occupation noon na tinatanggap ngayon hindi na.
Apo.
Oo.
Dati po kasi ang health authority ng BC allows for any NOC. Yun ang maganda sa kanila.
Mhm.
They accept kahit bookkeeper, accountant, laundry, parang they would help you under the health authority stream even if you're not like serving patients directly.
Yun.
Now, the provision na meron po ang BCPNP is they would only help those whose NOCs begin with 3. So, usually healthcare occupations, their NOCs would begin with 3. So,
ito yan,
sila na lang.
Oo,
Sila
may
na lang
tag
po ang
dito
pipili.
Naku, na-exit ko yata yung isa. Ayan. Basta if you guys do your research, punta lang po kayo dun
Perfect,
sa
yan
website ng BC, makikita nyo naman po kung ano yung specific NOCs
Correct.
na
Apo.
kanilang priority ngayon. Pero puntahan natin yung sa healthcare, no? Mahaba pa naman ang listahan kahit pa paano, pero
Mahaba pa naman po. Yes
Oo.
po. Pero
Ayan,
syempre,
ito
Miss,
sila.
kasi what you have to understand with all of these, hindi naman ito madaling ma-achieve. For example, practical nurses, paramedical occupations, it takes years of studies to be able to, really claim itong mga NOCs na ito.
Right.
Siguro yung mga medyo kahit paano doable dyan, kahit hindi ka masyadong mag-aral, more on training lang, will be 32109. Ayan, other technical occupations in therapy and assessment. Yan, some of those are achievable. Dental assistants. Kasama ba yung dental assistant?
Ayan, meron dental technologists and technicians.
Dental technician, kailangan kasi talaga mag-aral dyan. Miss,
Wala
yung
akong
other,
nakikitang assistant.
for example,
Ayun, dental assistant meron.
yes, dental assistants, pwede yan. It's just, from what I learned, it's just a year of study, usually.
Okay.
And then sometimes, if you have a dentist na willing na i-train ka, pwede din.
Alright.
Like on the job training. Social worker, medyo mahirap.
Itong nurse aides. Sino ba itong nurse aides?
Nurse aides, yan po yung mga usually nasa PSWs.
PSWs,
Care aides.
okay.
Yan, nasa long-term care hospitals. Social and community service workers. Yan, lalo yung community service workers, that's a little bit on the achievable side, hindi masyadong mahigpit yung kanilang employment requirements po. Pero yung social worker, mahigpit yan. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yung pa pala isa, Miss, pharmacy assistants. Pharmacy assistants. That's also doable for a lot of people. Yes po.
Okay. Now, I know, syempre alam natin mga Pilipino marami. Ano ba to? Nabilaukan ako. Pero alam ko marami mga Pilipino ang talagang in line with health-related jobs. Pero busy, alam ko, di ba, Dayanara, kasi in recent years, kilala din dyan yung mga IT. Marami Pilipino nagpunta ng busy dahil IT ang kanilang trabaho.
Opo.
So my question is, do you see a lot of Filipinos being excluded?
Yes.
Now, because of these policies, ano ba usually, ang trabaho ng mga Pilipino nasa BC apart from itong health-related occupations? Usually
po, IT talaga, especially in Vancouver. I have a lot of clients who from Dubai, lalo Singapore. From Singapore, they have chosen to move to Vancouver, seeing as, priority kasi nila yung tech. And there are a lot of tech companies in Vancouver. It's one of the places in Canada na medyo maganda-ganda yung weather. So a lot of companies choose to make that, place their headquarters. The problem is, and I always tell this to clients, sa BCPNP scoring system, ang scoring system po ng BCPNP is 0 to 200. And 25 points out of 200 ay allotted for regionalization. So, may tatlong area silang kino-consider. Area 1 ay yung Metro Vancouver. Area 2 ay yung 5 town na nakapalibot sa kanya,
Okay.
5 cities. And then Area 3 is the rest of BC. Yung Area 3, ang priority nila na magkaroon ng tao. So, if you studied in Area 3, you will gain 10 points. If you studied in Vancouver, you will not gain anything. If you, let's say, have 1 year experience in Vancouver, there's no additional score. But if you have 1 year experience in Kelowna or in Fort St. John, then you have 10 more points. Parang, I think 10 more points or 15 more points or something like that. Pero 25 points. That's a major difference. Diba?
Oo nga.
So, for those who are already in BC, my advice is maybe see kung pwede kayong makalabas. See
Naku.
kung pwede kayong makapagpa-relocate sa ibang lugar. There's a
Still
caveat.
within BC, not inter-province, what you're saying.
Within BC.
Yeah,
Within
okay.
BC. Don't go to Abbotsford. Don't go to New Westminster. Labas pa. One area na very popular is Victoria, which is weird kasi Victoria is the capital of BC. Pero hindi siya kasama sa Area 1 and 2. Parang considered rural siya. So that's also something you can explore. There's a caveat sa the way in this is scored. So let me just read this to you. If you work from home, this is according to the Skills Immigration Program Guide po ng BC. If you work from home, your area of employment is determined by your residential address. So let's say you work for Netflix, and you work from, let's say Netflix has a Vancouver branch. You work for them, pero nagpa-relocate ka sa Nanaimo kasi gusto mo yung Vancouver Island vibes, ganyan, nandun ka. Your area of employment is not determined by where your company is, but it's determined by your residential address. So if you choose to move to, let's say, a more rural area, you can claim additional points for that. So that's something that, those who are in Vancouver can do.
All right. Okay. O ano pa? Ayan, since nasa tips na tayo, Dayanara. How about for those who are not in IT? Umaasa lang talaga sa PNP. Naku po, ano pang options nila kung hindi sila pasok sa mga no-codes na to, which, I must say, highly specialized na kasi.
Highly specified, highly specialized. Then we will go to RCIP and AIP. Those are the two pathways na natitira, miss, na hindi NOC specific.
Okay.
RCIP, Rural Community Immigration Pilot, accepts tier 0 to 5. AIP, Atlantic Immigration Program, accepts tier 0 to 4. So, I mean, if, let's say, your skills are not really specified, then these areas are, could be your target destination na. Kasi as long as you're working for a designated employer, you will be able to apply.
They will have to move then, right?
You will have to move. You will have to find a designated employer in these areas. RCIP po, I believe, wala pang listahan. Designation is still ongoing for employers in those areas. Pero yung AIP, meron na. So this is also something na pwede nyo pong tingnan in the future.
Nako po, medyo drastic yun It's a big decision to make.
Yes. And also, babalik tayo, miss, dun sa matira matibay mindset. Syempre, hindi naman pagdating mo sa Thunder Bay, pasok ka dun sa company, ikaw agad yung tutulungan. Maaaring ang sabihin ng employer is, unahin ko muna to, sila muna ngayong taon. Kasi, nauna sila sa'yo.
Which, by the way, is something of a trend now.
Yes.
Diba? Ganun ang pinaprioritize din yung mga nauna na po kung saan mang lugar. Diba?
Yes.
In any place. Ang hirap na talaga ngayon. Sa totoo lang, it's getting scary. It is scary.
It is scary. It is scary. And understand, miss, I have siblings here. Diba? Who are temporary workers. I have a cousin in the same situation. So, this is, and then I have my clients. So this is really personal to me. What's happening is personal to me. And for the first time in my career, kanina, I had a consultation with a client, kasama niya yung employer niya.
Ha? Wow!
Kasama niya, andun yung employer niya, katabi niya. Tapos ang sabi ng employer niya, nagno-notes yung employer niya, talagang nagno-notes na parang in-apply na namin siya ng LMIA, hindi pa rin dumarating. We really wanna keep her. She's earning so high. Ang laki ng sahod niya for the job that she's doing. Ang laki ng sahod niya. She's very well supported. But their hands are tied.
Oo.
Tied
Ano
by
yung
the
job?
rules that we
Oo.
have. Bookkeeper.
Oo.
Bookkeeper.
Ano ba
She's
yun?
earning really well. Diba? For a bookkeeper position, above average talaga, which is really nice. I'm so proud, diba, as a
Oo.
Filipino to see that. There's an employer sitting right next to her for the very first time I
First
saw
time
that.
lang ako nakarinig ng ganun din.
Yes, and talagang
Kumbaga
sabi niya,
ganun na yung extent ng pag-worry. Pati yung mga
yes,
employers, ang mga problema nila, how do I
namomroblema na
keep
sila.
my
And
people?
also, sabi pa niya, we gave her a car. Kasi we
Oo.
relocated, so we have to provide her with a car so she can visit, so she can go to work to the new location that we have. So parang I'm so proud na, I mean, she must be so good at her job.
Yeah. Oo
Diba?
nga. O
And a
sino
lot
ka
of
man, sana
Filipinos
makahanap ka
are.
ng... Kung sino ka man, tutulungan ka ni Dayanara, okay? Na-pressure.
Sabi ko, a lot of Filipinos are, really, really good at their jobs. I have clients who are managers of, really high, really good companies, multinationals. And I'm so proud to say na I somehow helped get them here
Yeah.
and retain them here as talent. So this is something that Canada is losing, and I hope the government sees that. We don't want to lose these talents, and we also don't want to destroy the reputation of Canada na dati ay ganito tayo, ngayon hindi na, unreasonable na ba tayo sa immigration. Parang hopefully hindi naman maging
Correct.
ganon down the line.
Sana nga, no, Dayanara, mabilis na lang yung sinasabi mong period na kailangan pagdaanan, no? Itong bagyong dumadaan ngayon. Pero the reality is, nung patapos na ang 2024, kumbaga na-prep na tayo sa mangyayari
Yes.
sa 2025, 2026, 2027 na talagang marami ang mapapauwi. So
Yeah.
you're right in saying that it is going to be parang survival of the fittest.
Survival. It is going
Meron
to be...
talagang uuwi. Have you ever given advice, Dayanara? Maybe
Yes.
a client na, sorry, alam mo, I think umuwi ka na muna.
Yes.
You have?
I have. I tell them na, nope, I don't recommend that you change to visitor because wala rin namang use. You cannot apply for the work permit through an LMIA under like a visitor record. So go home, maintain your clean record in Canada, allowing you to go back. Marami akong clients na yung mga asawa nila nagre-reklamo, ayoko mag-aral. Pero wala silang choice. Kasi kung hindi, then mananatili sila dun sa mga trabaho na hindi priority. Ang technique is pumunta ka sa kung saan may kailangan. So, hopefully, kanina meron akong client, sabi niya, ayaw kasi talaga miss mag-aral ng asawa ko eh. Ayaw niya talagang mag-exam, hindi ko mapilit. Sabi ko, ma'am, sabi ko, sayang naman, ready na siya. Yun na lang yung kulang niya.
Yeah.
So, kumbaga, lawakan na lang natin ang pag-iisip natin para sa pamilya natin.
Oo.
Diba? So,
I think, mas risky yung ibang consultant I know are recommending visitor records to extend their stay. When is that only okay to do for you, Dayanara?
It's okay only if, let's say, you have an ongoing nomination application.
Okay.
Yan. Kasi po kapag na-nominate ka, kadalasan merong mekanismo para makapag-apply ka ng work permit eh. Like a bridging open work permit or a closed work permit tied to your employer. Pwede yun. I have clients na gano'n. We're waiting for their nomination. Ngayon, naka-visitor record sila. Pero merong mga pathways na hindi pwede yun kasi mawawalan ka ng points, ganyan. O kaya kung may hinihintay kang LMIA from your company at bukas, pasado na yung work, wala na yung parang expired na yung work permit mo, hindi na siya advisable. Kasi there's no way for you to apply for the work permit using an LMIA while inside Canada under a visitor record. Kailangan mo talagang umuwi.
Yeah. Lalo na kung simply just to extend your stay, tapos maghahanap ka, sige, dun sa while I'm on visitor record, maghahanap ka na Lamia. May mga ganun umaasang...
No. That's, meron pa akong client, miss, na nagsabi sa akin, ma'am, mag-expire na daw yung Work permit namin puwede daw kami mag-stay ng 90 days. Parang
Ah,
ganyan, magtatrabaho daw kami 90 days. Sabi ko, based on what? Parang yun ang
oo.
lagi ko sinasabi. What is the basis of this extension? What is the basis of this? Sabi ko sinasabi, give me the link to whatever itong sinasabi ninyo sa akin so I can understand. Kasi from what I know, you can only extend if you have basis. What's the basis of this
Mhm,
extension?
mhm.
Yeah, napakarami. Lalo miss yung kunyari, papagraduate na sila, may asawa silang kasama, hindi nila mahanap yung trabaho na pwede sana nilang magamit para ma-extend yung asawa nila. Yun yung mga
Oo.
heartbreaking talaga. Heartbreaking situations na napakahirap para sa katulad ko na ako yung nagre-receive kumbaga.
Yeah, yeah.
Ako yung nagre-receive.
Yeah.
Tapos hindi ko naman pwedeng i-share palagi,
Mhm,
kasi
mhm. Oo,
confidentiality, but you receive it. So,
yeah, nawala sa isip ko, no? That's a good discussion to have. Yung mga hiwalayang nangyayari na ngayon dahil nga yung mga spouses, yung ilan, baka nag-umpisa ng magsiuwian sa Pilipinas dahil hindi makakuha ng medyo mataas na posisyon agad yung kanilang asawang naka-PGWP.
opo.
Ano ba
Opo.
yan? Oo nga. But anyway, o sige, yun na lang muna tayo guys. So nakakalahating oras na tayo. Baka may tip na nakaligtaan, Dayanara. Okay na, no?
I
know
think yung
you're-
dalawa po na yun, for if
Yeah.
you're already in BC, try to see if there's a way to relocate to gain more points.
Mhm.
And then if not, RCIP, AIP. I have clients who are happily settled in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick,
Oo.
PEI, ganyan, nandun na sila, nauna na sila doon. Honestly, if I'm like my most successful clients are those that I was able to place there.
Oo.
Yun, doon na sila
Pag-rural
nag-aral, doon na sila
Pero
nagsimula.
mag-uumpisa na yan. I think, ano ba yung sa Timmins? Ano bang rural program yung sa Timmins?
RCIP, miss. That's Northern Ontario.
Oh, parang nag-release na yata sila ng initial info or something like that.
Oh,
I think
thank
just
God.
yesterday. So
Thank
baka
God.
mag-uumpisa na yan, sunod-sunod na. Sana,
Opo.
Check
Isa rin
nyo
pong
sa
strategy na
Timmins,
pwede ninyong gawin kung let's say, wala akong mahanap na designated employer. Wala, hindi ko makita. Pero may offer ako sa North Bay. May employer na nag-offer sa akin ng trabaho sa North Bay. So, pwedeng maging strategy po is tanggapin ninyo, tapos i-encourage ninyo, hopefully, yung employer na magpa-designate sila. Kasi,
Yun, oo.
pwedeng ganon. Pwedeng the other way around. Kasi ang ginagawa ng iba, hahanap ng designated employer, apply ng PR. Pwedeng ang gawin ninyo is mauna na kayong ma-employ, saka magpa-designate yung employer para matulungan kayo. Pwede rin po yun. Kasi
Alright.
gaya nung nakita ko kanina, marami namang employers na supportive pa rin
Willing,
po.
oo. Okay, yun na. Dito na lang muna tayo magtapos ha, guys. Good luck sa inyong lahat ha. Yung mga umabot sa part ng video na to, ibig sabihin talagang alam ko you are
Dedicated.
super
Thank you.
about what's happening. So good luck to everybody. Again, as always, Dayanara, thank you so much. Her contact information is down there in the description box. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.